Oh, yes indeed, ladies and gentlemen. That sound means it is time for another episode of Last Chance Radio. I am your host, David Benjamin, and I am glad you're here with me tonight. And we're going to cut to the chase and get right to it, my friends. So what do I got on my mind tonight? Where have I been? Well, I've got a younger brother, family. Love him. Can't live without him. And getting him squared away here down in South Florida, where he needs to be, where all you need to be. Because y'all freezing your old butt off up there, ain't you? Anyways, that said, I would like to bring you to a little thing that we're going to talk about tonight. And we are going to talk about this. It's going to be awesome. Wait till you see what my friend Donna and I and Danny, but this is mostly Donna's work, and I'm just lucky enough to be the guy to repeat it. And I'm going to show you my book here, and this is the way I support my show. It's called Inertial Guidance, Vibration and Frequency, How to Attune Them for Your Journey Through Life. And I'm not going to go into telling you all about what this book includes and what's in it and how helpful it can be to you tonight, because I have some other things on my mind and we need to get to them. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm glad you're here and welcome. And so what we're going to do after that is we're going to get right into the show content. Okay? Now listen to me, folks. Listen to me. The stuff you are going to hear and see tonight, okay, may be a little disturbing, okay? But it's really important that you understand a couple of things. And I'm going to start setting them out for you right here and right now. The parallels between the Weimar Republic of 1929, Germany, the rise in power of Hitler and his henchmen, and the horrors that they dropped on this world are without question, the most heinous crimes ever perpetrated against humanity. Okay? But what I'm going to tell you tonight and what I'm going to show you is that one Trump administration person after another are absolutely parallel and absolutely delineated as the same kinds of people taking the same kinds of positions in this Trump administration. No kidding, man. I mean, I am not even kidding. Okay? People need to understand the similarities between Nazi Germany and the Trump administration. Donna helped me do some research on it, and it's terrifying. The Holocaust only lasted 12 years, as if that wasn't long enough, right? But Trump is right on track with Hitler's timeline, even though it's off a little bit. But what he does is exactly the same. Outrageous propaganda machine. He denounces the media, destroying institutions, destruction of the intelligence community, destruction of the military hierarchy, and twisting the police forces down from the state level down to city and county level to ridiculousness. The next thing he'll want to do is create a police force like the SS. Okay? Don't be surprised when we hear suddenly that instead of instead of the SS, we get the Space Force. The newly created, non-understandable force. Like, what is it? What is Space Force? You all need to ask yourself that question. Instead of a war on Jews this time, Trump's war is on Mexicans, Muslims, people of color, and anybody else that is deemed not to be a white Christian. Okay? And that includes Jews too, like me. Okay? The only thing you gotta understand is this. The foul Christian values, when I say foul, I mean fake values, and all their end times BS. Each member of Hitler's inner circle had a counterpart, and they're now re-emerging in the Trump administration. For instance, Himmler is Bar. Goering is either Prince or Flynn. Goebbels is Miller, Stephen Miller. And if anyone doesn't see Miller as Goebbels, then you're seriously missing the boat, my friends, okay? And just so you don't think I'm really that bright to speak all on my own, I do have some stuff up here in front of me, and I'm showing it to you. And, continuing on, Goebbels could also be Miller, Eichmann, the Zionist, Bar, Shock Day. I don't know how many of you know your actual history, but Shock Day is the devil's banker. Mnuchin, Ecker, private prisons and militias, Prince, Eric Prince. Heydrich is Kelly over the concentration camps, etc. So there's more of this to go down through, and we're going to get to it. And that's really trying to figure this out is almost the least of our problems, but it's actually the worst of our problems. And what that problem is and what it means is, if you look at these images here of Himmler visiting concentration camps, okay, what you see here are a bunch of refugees behind barbed wire. Okay? These people did nothing wrong. Did nothing wrong. They were placed in there because of some insane vision that some people were better than others. And you know what? It's very, very similar to the kinds of nonsense and crazy nonsense that I hear from the right wing. Okay? So, any Mexican, if you're Chinese, if you're Vietnamese, if you're Cherokee Indian, whoever you are in America, if you're not a white Christian person, then you are being deemed a threat. Why do you think they marched with torches saying, Jews will not replace us? Jews will not replace us. Replace who? Replace who? You understand? What they don't understand is that the world turns, times change, and people have sex and love with other people. It's just a fact of life, man. It's not that anyone wants to take over your country. It's just that the plurality of planet Earth is coming. And why is it so hard for you to understand, oh white Christian? And if you really are as holy and avowed and attuned to your scripture, you would see and know that when Jesus walked the earth, he didn't delineate between colors. He didn't delineate between some black Saudi or some Jew or this. He went and treated people who were blind, had leprosy, had other injuries and illnesses. And according to the story, and I'm not saying I believe or disbelieve, I'm just saying if you believe in that, if you believe he delineated between race, creed, and color, then you totally do not understand the Bible at all. At all. You like close it, throw it in the river. Okay? Because you don't get it. You're a fool. Alright? If you don't like what I'm saying, go ahead and put it down in the comments down there. And you can also subscribe to me down there and click the little bell over there. Okay? Tell you when I got new stuff coming up. We've got to understand where these people ended up in the end. And here's our buddy Goebbels at Nuremberg trials. Okay? Now, he was sentenced to death. You know what all the Nazis said? You know what they all said at Nuremberg? The same thing that ICE, the same thing that Border Patrol is saying now. I was following orders. I was ordered to put children ripped away from their parents into cages, into camps. That's what they will say later. Do you know what we did with Goebbels? Well, he killed himself. Hitler too. But now, what about the rest of them that went on trial at Nuremberg? The majority of them were hung. Black hood over their head, a knot slipped around behind their shoulder, the rope around their neck, and the trapdoor opened. And they went to meet their maker and face the heinous crimes they committed. Fat-ass Goring, the peacock crybaby, whiny-ass... he finally decided to bite down on his capsule and meet his makers. Well, as did Himmler. Himmler did the same thing. When he got caught, cyanide time. Bunch of cowards. Bunch of sleazy, low-rent, no-good, honorless scumbag cowards. And I'll say that from now till the day I die. Listen, look at what happened just the other night here. Last night. Either last night or the night before, Saturday night. With this insane person just looking up at why did Hitler hate the Jews? Are you kidding me? That's what he looked up? That's all? Really? If that's all it takes, then we're in freaking trouble, folks. You copying me? You know? So, with that being said, I'm going to continue down here with a little bit more of some dialogue that I'd like you to hear that we put together. If we want to assign and draw parallels, we have to name a person from then, back in the days of Hitler, and then assign who that new person is today. For instance, Himmler could be Barr, the Attorney General, the head of the Copland in the North American region of, whatever we want to call it these days. Kelly, Might be Himmler's underboss, Heydrich. And since Kelly is over today's concentration camps, Goering could be aligned more with Pompeo as a Secretary of State, as Goering was a pilot with a military background, etc. You see where I'm going? You see where I'm going? But it's only beginning. Goring could be also a figure that could be aligned in character with multiple Cult 45 members. We could see him as Barr. We might be able to see him partially as General Flynn. We might be able to see him as Pompeo as well. All rolled into one dirty Tootsie Roll. I'm going to start back to work on this installment, but before I do, I'm still going to continue to give you some more information here. And what I'm going to tell you also is that the way I see it, when I was talking to Donna, who was helping me with this, is that I kind of see Goering as Manafort. Manafort the peacock. Much like Goering with his ostentatious dress, carrying his swagger stick, and all of his drug-induced morphine, probably some special sex. I'm not saying he was screwing goats, but I think you know what I mean. He was screwing some kind of goat. So anyways, there's no reason not to think that Trump is aligning himself with certain very specific Hasidic Jewish communities. A secular life with insane rules regarding how family is supposed to be. Hasidic Jews, after all, when the Holocaust, the next Holocaust happens, well, they're all right wing, so why not make these the new Jews? You know? This is the type of world that Cult 45 wants to establish. Netanyahu is no longer really in this because he really wants to guide Israel. He wants to guide himself to riches in a Swiss bank account. Okay? Now, if any of y'all think that I'm some anti-Semite, you need to go back and read my name, David Benjamin. Okay. And if you don't know that David Benjamin is Jewish and that makes me Jewish, then you don't understand how Jewish parents name their children, or any parents name their children. So if that's what's on your mind, then go ahead and leave me a comment. I'll be so happy. I'll be so thrilled to read your brilliant commentary on anything I had to say, because I'm so sure that if you disagree with me in comment, that nobody will respond to you. If you want to find me, you want to come talk to me, I'm at David Man on Fire. At David Man on Fire. And you can find me there anytime. Also, like I said earlier, I would appreciate it if you don't mind grabbing a copy of my book. It's on Amazon. And you can see it up here, Inertial Guidance book. Inertial Guidance, Vibration, and Frequency, how to attune them for your journey through life. And what does that mean? It shows you how to match frequencies with other people, whether they're sad, happy, angry, whatever. If you learn how to attune your frequency to somebody in any modality, you can connect with them, but you have to listen to them and then connect with them. Okay? This has been a bit of a short episode. I don't want to go back into the Holocaust pictures again because they're not just disturbing, they're hurtful. And the Jewish community has had enough hurt already. And I have a couple more shows coming up to you that are going to be a little bit more hardcore than tonight. But I'm just working back into the saddle here after a couple of days. And I don't mind telling you that. I told you I'd always tell you the truth about everything. And I'm really glad to have my brother SCOTUS here. And that's about it for the night. So I hope you start to see. Actually, last thing I'd like to tell you, go back and look up the Weimar Republic of Germany, and also go on history or Netflix or anything on any of your media outlets and look up the rise of Hitler. Okay? Look at how he came to power. And you will be astounded if you see things from a truly balanced, logical, open to seeing things point of view. If you look at it that way and not in your Charlie Foxtrot land, okay, you will see that there are so many parallels that it's frightening. And I do not want us to go anywhere near what they call NSDAP, the National Socialist Workers' Party, and the right wing is saying, because it says socialists in their name, that socialists are not really communists, but because it says socialists in the Nazi banner, so to speak, that left-wing people are socialists. And I don't know where they're getting this from. It's like they're fascists. As in fascism, like Mussolini with his black shirts. As in Hitler with the SS and the black uniforms. Do you not get that? Socialists are not fascists, folks. And that is my final thought for this evening. And look it up yourself. Don't believe anything I say. Look it up for yourself. I'm David Benjamin, and this is Last Chance Radio. Out comes